Yesterday offered a textbook example of exactly why I've always maintained over the past 20 years that you cannot celebrate the wins or lament the losses. My contention has always been that there are so many gamblers and handicappers that dwell on the past that they miss the next money-making opportunity that could be staring them right in the face and slapping them silly 24 hours later. I'll use me as an example. Each of the past 2 weekends, I had 3 out of 4 best bets in college and the NFL. So Monday, I was rolling 6 out of 8, 75%. Boom. I was ready. I was unloading. I was all over the Washington Redskins. You saw how the game ended. I mean, it's like the Packers game 2 weeks ago on the third, last week on Thursday. Who you had in that game, Lions or Packers? You can't celebrate, nor you can lament the loss. So what happened? I didn't. Yesterday was another money-making opportunity. It was the start of a new betting week. I found the game I absolutely loved in college basketball, and I made it the 7th ever 20-dime college basketball release of my career. Now, we're talking I started these sites about 14 years ago. That's how big this game was. Did I have any fear of losing it? No. I mean, the game deserved to be hammered. I had a little bankroll just because I lost because of Deshaun Jackson being a bonehead the night before. It wasn't going to stop me. And I gave you Texas Arlington, a 36-point home blowout of Bradley as an 18-point favorite. And you shouldn't have really been surprised because it was last Thursday's video report when I gave you a 2-0 sweep and told you all about Texas Arlington, watching them earlier this season, winning outright at Ohio State as an 18-point dog. Very next game, 3 nights later, winning outright as a 12.5-point dog at Memphis. Seeing this team and how well they had done and knowing Bradley from when I first researched them before the season's very first game against Ball State, the only team they beat in this year, they had 7 straight losses going into last night's game, make it 8 in a row, that Bradley happened to be the youngest college basketball team this year in Division 1A. Young, inexperienced, can't shoot the ball straight, so I expected them to get hammered. Best part of all, not only did I hit the play, but you got it at a huge discount as well last night, as you saved $55 in the process. But the moral of the story is, again, guys, you can't get hung up. Man, I can't tell you how many times. Sometimes, my father used to be president of a labor union. He used to come home from work some days and, you'd ask him how he was, and he says, had to turn the collar around today, meaning turning the collar around to take confession because you had to hear everybody's whines, complaints, etc. I can't tell you how many times I've had to turn the collar around over the years and listen to handicappers at the site just go on and bemoan the fact that they lost the game, they got backdoored, they lost for some fluky reason. Gamblers, you do the same thing. You got to get out of that mindset. Listen, I've always said to you that to gamble and to win successfully and to maintain your sanity, you have to go into this knowing that sometimes you're going to lose, and sometimes you're going to lose a lot, and sometimes you're going to lose for a couple weeks in a row. It's the long haul, what we're looking to do to turn a profit consistently. That's what matters the most. I don't mean to practice or preach to the choir, but seriously, guys, I mean, you're looking at a guy who's lost money, lost a lot of money sometimes, and has made a lot of money sometimes. It's just the nature of what we do, especially if you're doing this day in, day out, because we get off on the vicarious thrill of it all. Now, for tonight, I don't think the best bet tonight is in college basketball. Oh, I'm going to give you a college basketball free selection. Matter of fact, I've swept the free plays here for the past 6 days after giving you 2 more winners last night. I think the best bet is in the NBA, however, tonight, and it's going to be a top-rated 15-dime NBA release. 99.9% of my plays are rated between 5 and 15 dimes. I do that because I want you to know exactly how much I love a play. So when I come out with a 20-dime play, it may not be like a 300-dime play for Brad Wilton, but it's a huge play for me. But tonight I've got a top-rated 15-dime release in the NBA. It's my rebound route of the month. I'm taking a team that's coming off a loss. I think they easily recover tonight and get the double-digit cover. And I'm 58-46 with these plays in the NBA since the 2009 season. Same plays in the NFL. Then I'm I got to look up my own record. Isn't it awful, guys? I don't know it off the top of my head. Let's see. What the hell is my own record? Well, you know what? It's on the top of my webpage. You can find it yourself if you care. The bottom line with this particular play is that you can get it for the same $55 savings as you did last night by using coupon code REBOUND, REBOUND. Props going out to Jeff Benton. Last night, 100 dime NBA revenge game of the year. You thought my play was easy? Did you see what his play did? Oklahoma City, 2-point favorite at Memphis, 37-point win last night. You got it as the half-price play of the day, and tonight he's coming back with his biggest college game so far of this young season. 100 dime opening game of the year, Dayton and Vanderbilt. And that's going to be his play tonight, bigger than a 75 dime winner on the Cowboys on Monday night, in fact. You can get it for half price for the second straight day by using coupon code HALF, H-A-L-F. You know, the other big winner here last night by another monstrous margin was Chuck O'Brien, who has won 7 of the 10 days since he returned to the site. Last night, 20-dime college hoops winner, number 5 out of 6. He had Washington, a 25-point winner at home against TCU as a 6-point chalk. So congratulations going out to him. Now, let's get to your complimentary plays. As I said, I've swept the board for the past 6 days. I've got a great record over the past 5 months. You can look it up on the homepage, too, for my free selections. My first complimentary play tonight, I'm going to go to the NBA. I'm going to take the Phoenix Suns minus the 4.5 at home tonight. Interesting road trip the Suns just concluded. They opened up with an upset win at Toronto by 5 points. They closed it with a dramatic last-minute win by 2 points at Chicago. In between, they went 0-4. Lost to the Nets, lost to the Pistons, lost to the Wizards, lost to the Grizzlies. Those 4 losses decided by a total of 13 points. Well, they've lost 3 in a row at home. Of course, they played the Warriors and Bulls in 2 of those 3 games, okay? But I like Phoenix in this particular spot because they're home and because the Orlando Magic are playing the second of back-to-backs. And when those back-to-backs happen to be on a lengthy road trip, that makes it so tough for that road team. When that road team happened to play in Denver in the altitude last night, that makes it even harder as well. It compounds their woes. Now, I gave you the Magic as a free play yesterday, and they took care of business easily against the Denver Nuggets. A Denver team that struggles to score and can't stop anybody defensively, and they won that game 85-74. They're 3-1 on the current road trip. The only game they lost, I think it was to the Clippers on Saturday. They were up 10 in the fourth quarter, and they blew that game. They've won 6 of their last 7 overall, but I think tonight is a night you go against them. I think this is a road-weary team. I think this is a team that's going to show the after effects of playing in altitude in Denver last night. And I think Phoenix coming back home after a lengthy road trip, it's a good spot to lay the 4.5 points with the Suns in this one. Your other complimentary play, I'm going to take a look at the game between Vanderbilt and Dayton. Now, this is a game at the outset I thought, well, let me take Vandy, 8.5 points. And then I thought, what am I doing? I remember how good Dayton was to me last year. Archie Miller's got a really good team. And then I looked deeper into the record. You know, Dayton started the season 5-0, one of those wins. They crushed Alabama 80-48. They beat Iowa 82-77. And they were rolling, 5-0 start. And then they played Xavier in the Advocare Invitational Championship down in, I think it was Orlando, near Disney, okay? And the Musketeers destroyed them, 90-61. But keep in mind, the Musketeers are 9-0. Going to be a good game with them this weekend against Cincinnati, I think it is, in fact. So losing to them, can we really hold it against them? Then they rebounded. They beat North Florida by 15. Now, meanwhile, Vanderbilt, they got off to a 5-0 start. They lost their first game to Kansas. Then I think the Jayhawks were number 2, and that was in the Maui Invitational. They followed by beating up Detroit by 50 points at home, but Detroit Mercy, one of the worst teams in college basketball this season, just FYI there. Then what happens, they go to Waco, take on, I guess it was Baylor was ranked like 17th or 18th, and they lost that game on Sunday 69-62. And they lost it in a disgusting fashion because they collapsed defensively. They had a 13-point lead in that contest. You know, you look at Dayton's schedule. You know, they also beat Monmouth, who's gotten some nice wins here this season. They have a better RPI than Vanderbilt. Dayton has a stronger strength of schedule than Vanderbilt. These are 2 teams that shoot exceptionally well from the field. Vandy shooting 49%. Dayton just a tick behind at almost 48%. I looked at the line again and I thought 8.5 points, too many. I don't think Vanderbilt's going to lose this game, okay? But the fact that Dayton is 11-3 in its last 14 versus SEC teams, beating 2 last year, Texas A&M and Ole Miss last year, losing to Arkansas, beating Alabama this season. Archie Miller's team is not going to be scared. They're a good shooting team. I think this will be a high-scoring, entertaining game. I can see both teams getting up in the 70-point range, but I think it's a 5-point game. I don't think a line at 8.5 for a Vanderbilt team that hasn't shown you it can play a lick of defense this season. That's what cost them at Baylor. That and the fact that they got hammered on the boards despite having a couple of big 7-footers in their lineup. So I think the price is overinflated, and I'm going to go with Dayton as your other complimentary play, along with the Phoenix Suns. That'll do it, guys. Best of luck to you all. All your other discounts, coupons, etc. over on the homepage, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow when we do this one more time.